Welcome back to the All Sorts podcast. We're doing a deep dive into Ljubljana today. It's the capital of Slovenia. It's known for its charming bridges and historic architecture.
And don't forget its nickname.
Oh yeah, its nickname's really interesting, the City of Dragons.
It really captures the spirit of this place. We found some interesting connections in the source material between the city's past and its landmarks, and this mythical creature.
So where do we even begin? With a city like Ljubljana.
Well, our journey starts on the outskirts, in the Ljubljana marsh. As far back as 2000 BC, this area was home to pile dwellers. They built their homes on stilts above the water.
Wow, imagine that. It's amazing to think about those ancient communities. And they weren't just surviving, they were innovating. The world's oldest wooden wheel was found right there in the marsh.
Yeah, and with the well-preserved remains of the pile dwellings, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's a truly unique window into prehistoric life.
That's incredible. From prehistoric settlements to the Roman era, they established a major trading hub in this region. They named it Emona.
Emona was strategically located along a key trade route, connecting the Adriatic Sea to the Danube region. It played a vital role in the Roman Empire's economic and military network.
So Emona thrived for centuries, but eventually the Roman Empire declined, and we enter the medieval period. How did Emona transform into Ljubljana, the city we know today?
That took place gradually. Over centuries of change, Ljubljana faced fires, changing rulers, and witnessed the rise and fall of various powers.
And it's during this medieval era that the name Ljubljana starts to emerge, right? But the origins of the name itself are still shrouded in some mystery.
Yeah, there are several theories about how Ljubljana got its name. Some link it to the Ljubljanica River that winds its way through the city. Others suggest Slavic roots, connecting it to words for love or beloved. It's a linguistic puzzle that adds to the city's allure.
What's also interesting is that Ljubljana had a German name, Leibach, which was commonly used until the early 20th century. It reflects the city's complex history and the influence of different cultures.
Absolutely. And that brings us to another intriguing aspect of Ljubljana's identity, its strong connection with the dragon.
This is where the nickname comes in. City of Dragons. The dragon motif is everywhere. The city's coat of arms, the iconic dragon bridge. It makes you wonder why this mythical creature is so significant.
Well, dragons often symbolize strength, power, and protection, which may have resonated with the city's rulers and inhabitants. Throughout history, Ljubljana Castle, for example, features dragon imagery, possibly linking the city to legends of a dragon guarding the castle and the surrounding lands.
One of our sources even mentioned an exhibition at Ljubljana Castle called The Dragon of All Dragons. It explores the global fascination with dragons and their various interpretations. I wonder if it reveals any unique insights into Ljubljana's own dragon symbolism.
Perhaps it examines how the dragon in Ljubljana represents not just power, but also the city's resilience and ability to overcome challenges, just like a dragon breathing fire.
From ancient settlements to a city steeped in dragon lore, Ljubljana has clearly seen its fair share of transformations. And as we move through the source material, we discover that these transformations are also reflected in the city's architecture.
What's striking is the way Ljubljana's architecture mirrors its history, almost like a timeline etched in stone. We see the influence of different periods and style, all interwoven into the cityscape.
So where do we see this architectural tapestry most vividly?
Well, let's start with the impact of two major earthquakes that shook Ljubljana, one in 1511 and another in 1895. Each of these events, while devastating, created opportunities for architectural renewal and innovation.
It seems like Ljubljana took these setbacks as chances to reinvent itself, to embrace new styles and approaches.
Precisely. After the 1511 earthquake, we see the rise of Baroque architecture in Ljubljana. Buildings with ornate facades, elaborate decorations, and a sense of grandeur emerged during this period.
And then the 1895 earthquake ushered in another wave of change, introducing the Vienna Secession style. Right?
Yes. The Vienna Secession brought a more modern aesthetic to Ljubljana, with cleaner lines, geometric shapes, and a focus on functionality. You can see this style reflected in buildings, like the Dragon Bridge and the Cooperative Business Bank.
So we have these imported styles, but what about homegrown talent? Did Ljubljana have its own architects who shaped the city's landscape?
Absolutely. Jože Plečnik and Ivan Vernik were two prominent Slovenian architects who left their mark on Ljubljana. Plečnik, in particular, is considered a visionary, who blended classical elements with a distinctly modern sensibility. His work is visible throughout the city, from bridges and squares to individual buildings.
It sounds like Ljubljana's architecture is a story in itself, a testament to the city's resilience and creativity. Speaking of stories, I think it's time we took our listener on a virtual tour of some of Ljubljana's most iconic landmarks. We've got a lot to cover, so let's dive in.
I'm ready. Welcome back to our deep dive into the Ljubljana. We've just scratched the surface of this city's fascinating history and architecture, but there's so much more to uncover.
I'm particularly curious about the city's cultural side. We've talked about Ljubljana as a city of dragons, but what about the people who live there today? What stories do their bridges tell?
Bridges. Ljubljana is a city that truly embraces its bridges, both literally and figuratively. We've already talked about the Dragon Bridge, but each bridge here seems to hold a unique piece of the city's character.
I'm thinking of the Butcher's Bridge, for instance. It used to be a bustling marketplace, but now it's known for the love locks placed on its railings by couples.
It's a fascinating transformation. The bridge has gone from a symbol of commerce to a testament to love and commitment. It speaks to the evolving spirit of Ljubljana, a city that honors its past while embracing new traditions.
And then you have the Triple Bridge, a true architectural gem, designed by George Plečnik. It's not just functional, it's a work of art.
Yeah, it reflects Plečnik's vision for the city, blending beauty with practicality.
So we've got bridges that connect us to history, romance, and architectural innovation. But what about the cultural scene itself? What kind of vibe does Ljubljana have today?
Ljubljana is a city that pulsates with creative energy. Our sources highlight a vibrant arts scene, with over 10,000 cultural events taking place annually.
Wow, 10,000 events. That's a lot. Are there any festivals that particularly stand out?
Well, the Ljubljana Festival is a big one. It's one of the oldest festivals in the region. It attracts world-renowned musicians, dancers, and theater groups. It's a celebration of the arts on a grand scale.
I can picture myself wandering through Ljubljana during the festival, soaking in the atmosphere, and maybe even stumbling upon a hidden courtyard performance.
That's the beauty of Ljubljana. It's a city that encourages exploration and discovery, and it's not just about classical or traditional arts. Ljubljana has a thriving alternative scene as well.
Our sources mention a place called Metelkova. Tell me more about that.
Metelkova is a former military barracks that's been transformed into an autonomous social and cultural center. It's a haven for alternative art, music, and social activism.
It sounds like a place where you can really experience the pulse of Ljubljana's creative undercurrents.
Exactly. It's a testament to the city's open-mindedness and its willingness to embrace diverse forms of expression.
We've talked about bridges, festivals, alternative art spaces, but there's another aspect of Ljubljana's culture that I'm curious about. Its unique dialect. The Ljubljaniština.
Yes. The Ljubljana dialect is fascinating. It occupies a unique linguistic niche, sitting between the upper and lower Carniolan dialects. Over time, it has shifted closer to the upper dialect due to migration patterns.
So the dialect itself tells the story of movement, change, and the merging of influences.
It does. And if you listen closely to conversations in Ljubljana, you'd notice a certain musicality to the dialect, a distinct rhythm and intonation. It's part of what gives the city its own voice.
It makes me wonder if learning a few phrases in the Ljubljana dialect would unlock a deeper understanding of the city's soul.
It might just. Languages carry so much cultural weight, and dialects in particular offer a glimpse into the heart of a community.
From languages to landscapes, Ljubljana seems to have a way of drawing you in, with its unique blend of history, art, and everyday life. But what about its museums? Do they offer any special insights into the city's past and present?
Ljubljana has a fantastic array of museums that cater to a wide range of interests. For history buffs, there's the Slovenian Railway Museum, which traces the evolution of rail transport in the region.
And for art lovers, we have the National Gallery, right, which houses an impressive collection of Slovenian masterpieces.
Absolutely. The National Gallery is a must-visit for anyone who wants to immerse themselves in Slovenian art history. And if contemporary art is more your style, you can't miss the Metelkova Museum of Contemporary Art. It's a showcase for cutting-edge artistic expressions.
There's even a brewery museum for those who appreciate the finer things in life.
That's right. Ljubljana has something for everyone. Whether you're fascinated by trains, captivated by art, or simply enjoy a good pint, there's a museum waiting to pique your curiosity.
So we've explored bridges, festivals, art spaces, dialects, and even museums. What stands out to you the most about Ljubljana's cultural landscape?
What strikes me is the city's ability to balance tradition and innovation. Ljubljana honors its rich history, but it's also open to new ideas, new forms of expression, and new ways of connecting with the world.
It's a city that's constantly evolving, yet it never forgets its roots.
Precisely. And that sense of continuity, that thread that connects the past to the present, is part of what makes Ljubljana so captivating.
I'm starting to see why they call it the City of Dragons. It's a place where history and mythology intertwine, where creativity flourishes, and where bridges connect us to something truly special. But our journey through Ljubljana isn't over yet. We still have one more aspect to explore.
Stay tuned, because in our final segment, we'll delve into Ljubljana's commitment to sustainability and its passion for sports, revealing yet another layer of this dynamic city.
Welcome back to our final segment on Ljubljana. We've covered so much ground, from ancient history to modern art. But our sources reveal another dimension to this city, a passion for sports, and a commitment to a greener future.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it? This city steeped in history and tradition, but also a strong focus on sustainability and an active lifestyle.
It makes you wonder how these different aspects of Ljubljana's character actually complement each other.
Well, maybe it's about balance, honoring the past, and embracing progress. Ljubljana seems to be doing just that, creating a city that's both modern and mindful.
Our sources highlighted some of Ljubljana's dedication to sports. One that caught my eye was the Ljubljana Marathon. It attracts thousands of runners every year.
The marathon is a great way to experience the city. Running past landmarks and through neighborhoods, it's not just a race, it's a celebration of community and healthy living.
And then there's the Walk Along the Wire event, which commemorates the liberation of Ljubljana in 1945. Participants retrace the path of a barbed wire fence that once divided the city, reflecting on its past and celebrating its resilience.
It's a powerful reminder that history shapes the places we live and the lives we lead.
Beyond these big events, what about everyday opportunities for sports and recreation? Does Ljubljana offer spaces for people to be active and enjoy the outdoors?
Absolutely. Ljubljana has tons of green spaces, many designed with sports and recreation in mind. Tivoli Park has a swimming pool complex, a recreational center, and an Olympic-sized swimming pool from the 1920s.
Wow, imagine that. Taking a dip in a pool with that much history, it's like the city encourages you to slow down, connect with nature, embrace a healthy lifestyle.
Exactly. And if you prefer a more urban setting, there's the Šiška Sports Park. It has facilities for football, athletics, tennis, volleyball. It's a hub for local sports clubs.
So whether you're a marathon runner, a history enthusiast, or just enjoy a stroll through a park, Ljubljana seems to have something to offer. But let's talk about sustainability. We mentioned it earlier, but I want to delve deeper.
What's remarkable about Ljubljana is its approach to sustainability. It's not just about adding green spaces or promoting cycling. It's about integrating sustainable practices into the city itself.
One example was Ljubljana's district heating system.
Yeah, the district heating system is a great example of efficient and sustainable urban planning. It provides heat to most households, using energy from the Ljubljana power station, reducing reliance on individual heating systems, and minimizing carbon emissions.
So that's a citywide solution.
Exactly. And then there's the European Green Capital Award that Ljubljana received in 2016. This recognized the city's efforts in areas like sustainable mobility, air quality, green spaces, and environmental awareness.
What impressed the judges?
Well, Ljubljana has extensive pedestrian zones in the city center, encouraging walking and cycling. It also has a really efficient public transportation system. And don't forget the green spaces, which contribute to cleaner air and a higher quality of life.
Yeah, it sounds like Ljubljana is leading by example, showing that it's possible to be a vibrant urban center and a champion for environmental sustainability.
Absolutely. Ljubljana's story is inspiring. It's a city that has embraced its past, learned from its challenges, and emerged as a model for sustainable urban living.
As we wrap up our deep dive into Ljubljana, I'm struck by the city's ability to blend tradition and innovation, history and progress. We've journeyed through millennia, from ancient pile dwellers to modern-day marathon runners. We've explored a city shaped by dragons, bridges, and a deep respect for nature.
It's a city that invites you to explore, to discover, to connect, and I think that's the takeaway from our dive. Ljubljana is not just a destination, it's an experience, a story waiting to unfold.
What a story it is. A story of resilience, creativity, and a commitment to building a better future. As we leave Ljubljana behind, I hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity and inspired you to explore the world.
Maybe it's encouraged you to think about your own city and the ways you can contribute to creating a more sustainable and vibrant future.
And if this deep dive has left you wanting more, we invite you to join us for other adventures. Here at the All Sorts Podcast, we have so many episodes, covering everything from history and science to art and culture.
You can find us on YouTube, where you can like, share, and subscribe. We also have other podcasts you can listen to, and connect with us on X, Instagram, and Threads.
So until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep that spark of curiosity burning bright. From all of us here at the All Sorts Podcast, happy travels.